Students, welcome to the PharmWIse Academy. This is the second lecture video in the human anatomy and physiology. We have started the unit 1 and this is the part 2. In this, we are going to study in detail about the homeostasis. Homeostasis, dear students, it is a very important topic from the point of view for the examinations. So you cannot neglect this topic at all. Okay. So study carefully the homeostasis. Let's start. Homeostasis. Actually, students, homeostasis, it is a very small topic, but a very important topic. What is homeostasis? Homeostasis is the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. It involves the regulation of various physiological parameters such as temperature, blood pressure, and glucose levels. Okay, dear students, you might be wondering, like in winters, okay, if we take in winters, let's make a comparison, and in summers, okay. In winters, you'll the external temperature will be very low. Okay, the temperature will be low, and in the summer the temperature will be high. In winter you will feel cold, and in summer you will feel warm. You will feel like it is very sunny and it is very hot. Okay, so these are the basic things. You might be wondering, sir, why you are teaching this? Okay, but now see, to this is the environment, this is the external stimuli, no? So our body has to react to it. So how our body will be react? But the for example, in winter season the temperature might fall to 26 degrees celsius, and in summer season in afternoon the temperature might go to 45 to 47 degrees celsius in some areas. Okay, in like Rajasthan it is very hot. So but the body's normal temperature should be 35 degrees. Okay, so this is the 26, this is the 47 or 45, you can take 45. So how the body is going to survive in these conditions? It is by the homeostasis. Okay, concentrate concentrate on the definition. Homeostasis is the body's ability, it is the ability to maintain the stable internal environment. Okay, it is the process, it is the ability by which the internal environment of the body is stable despite the external changes. Whatever the external environment be, the internal environment of the body is stable, it is the normal. So how? In winter season, uh, you will rub your hands. Okay, rub palms. Okay, these these actions will generate heat. Okay, these actions will generate heat, and the water stored in your body will be utilized, and so that's why you will feel less thirsty in winter season, whereas as compared to the summer season. Okay, in summer season you will be more sweaty because the body is generating heat, and that heat is to be transferred out, because the temperature is 45 degrees outside and it has to be maintained 35 degrees. So obviously the temperature has to be reduced. How? The body will secrete the heat in the form of sweat. Okay, by the sebaceous gland the sweat will come out of the body. That's why you will get sweat. Okay, the body is releasing out its heat. Okay, that's why we'll get sweat. So this is the basic example for the homeostasis. Homeostasis is the fundamental concept in physiology that refers to the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external fluctuations. Okay, just what I say. Okay, this is the topic. The internal environment includes variables such as body temperature, just now I said, and blood pressure, the BP. Okay, sometimes when you are in anxiety, sometimes when you are in depression. Okay, the blood pressure of your body changes, and blood glucose levels. When you eat too much sugars, the blood glucose levels will be high, and the pH of the body, among others. The maintenance of this internal condition is crucial. It is crucial and it is very important for the proper functioning of the cells and ultimately the survival of the organism. Okay, what happens if too much blood pressures? The blood vessels will be ruptured out, and ultimately the death of the person takes place. Okay, like that the high blood glucose levels, It leads to the cholesterol, high blood glucose levels. It somehow contributes to the formation of the cholesterol, free fatty acids, triglycerides, and cholesterol leads to the atherosclerosis and after that heart attack. Okay, and pH acidosis and alkalosis can be takes place. Okay, so these are the homeostasis is the main function. Okay, this is the main body ability. Next, the components of homeostasis. What are the components of homeostasis? How the homeostasis works? Okay, it is by the help of three components. It is the receptor, control center, and effector. Okay, let's erase it. Okay, now you have got to know what is homeostasis. Okay, I think homeostasis is clear. Now, how the homeostasis works? Okay, sir, you are saying that the internal body temperature will be maintained to 35 degrees Celsius, whether in winter conditions or in hot conditions. How the body is going to say that the external temperature is hot and the internal temperature should be maintained less, so the sweat should be, so the energy or the heat of the body should be thrown out. How? It is by the receptor or sensor. Okay, dear students, please appreciate this. Receptor and sensor, receptor or sensor, these receptors, okay, these receptors recepts or senses or detects the change. What is the change? What is the abnormal? Okay, normal is 35 degrees Celsius. In hot conditions, when you go outside of the home for half an hour, the body temperature will be rise. Okay, due to the hot condition. So how it is going to receive that the body temperature is rising? It is by the sensor. Okay, the sensor detects, it is the, these are the specialized cells or structures that detect changes in the internal environment or stimuli. Okay, receptors send signals to the control center when deviations from the set point occur. Okay, these receptors or these are the sensors which detects what is the abnormality. Okay, the you can understand like this in this manner that receptors are like watchmen. Okay, they will watch everything is like supervisor. They will watch everything is going right or not. If not, if anything is abnormal, then these receptor cells send signal to the control center. Okay, when deviations from the set point occur, receptor will sense what is the abnormality and it sends to the control center. Okay, control center, that a control center, I have detected some abnormality here, do the needful action. The control center, typically the brain or specified endocrine glands. Okay, it is the brain, ultimately the brain or endocrine glands will take the decision. Okay, the brain or endocrine glands, the control center receives input from the receptors and determines the appropriate response. Okay, so here students, basically our brain will take the decision that what to be done. Okay, uh, in case of BP, let's take example in case of BP. Okay, the chemoreceptors and baroreceptors detects that there is a rise in BP. Okay, BP levels are raised, the blood pressure is raised. The receptors, the chemoreceptors and baroreceptors will sense that BP is raised in the body. It sends the message or it sends the impulses to the brain or the control center that the BP is rising. So the control center will release some in case of BP, it releases some vasodilators. Okay, vasodilators means this will dilates or this will makes widens the blood vessels. Okay, vasodilator. But how? The brain itself cannot vasodilate the blood vessels. It is by the help of effector. Okay, okay, dear students, are you getting my point? It is by the help of effector. Muscles, organs, or glands that carry out the instructions from the control center to restore the internal environment to the set point are called effectors. Effectors respond to the signals by either enhancing or reversing the change. Okay, in this the enhancement is taking place. Okay, the blood pressure, it cannot be stopped. Okay, the heart is continuously pumping the blood. If heart stops, then all knows. So by enhancing, how it is enhancing? By vasodilation. The blood vessels, okay, the blood vessels initially, if its example, if its diameter was 2 nanometer, then it dilates. Okay, it widens these blood vessels and it expands to a greater diameter, so that the blood flow will be normal, so the blood cannot exert more pressure. Okay, if the area is widens, then the pressure automatically decreases. So these are the components of homeostasis. By this, the internal environment is maintained constantly stable. Are you getting my point? Okay, like this only, in everything, in like everything of the body system, it is working on the homeostasis and feedback mechanism. Okay, almost all our body is working on the homeostasis and feedback mechanism. Okay, homeostasis, it is a important body temperature, maintaining body temperature, blood pressure, blood glucose levels, pH. Okay, etc etc. These are all the things which is done by the homeostasis. Now, how mechanism of homeostasis, how it will works? There are mainly two things, only two things, dear students. It is the feedback mechanism, negative, that is negative feedback mechanism and positive feedback mechanism. Most in negative feedback mechanism, most homeostatic mechanisms operate through negative feedback loops. In a negative feedback loop, the response of the effector negates or opposes the original stimulus, bringing the system back to the set point. This helps maintain stability. Okay, dear students, nothing is there in this topic. Okay, very easy topic. Negative feedback mechanism and positive feedback mechanism. Okay, negative feedback mechanism. In negative feedback mechanism, what is the stimuli? Origin of the stimuli. Okay, origin of the stimuli, it acts on the origin of the stimuli and it reduces its functions. Okay, it reduces its function by negative feedback mechanism. Okay, what he is saying, see, effector negates or opposes the original stimulus. Okay, bringing the system back to the set point. This helps to maintain the stability. And the negative feedback mechanism decreases the function. For example, if we take the example of insulin. Okay, all we know, insulin is a hormone. It is secreted by the pancreas, the beta cells of the pancreas. Okay, insulin, the work of the insulin is to reduce the blood sugar level. Okay, blood sugar level is decreased by the action of insulin if insulin is secreted in more amount. Okay, let us consider an abnormality. If insulin is greater, then this negative feedback mechanism, by the negative feedback mechanism, it acts upon the pancreas and suppress the secretion of the insulin, so that the blood sugar level is again raised to the normal. Okay, are you understanding? Are you understanding? Yes, are you understanding? So negative feedback mechanism opposes or decreases the action of the original stimuli. Example, regulation of body temperature involves negative feedback mechanism. Okay, here the editor has given the body temperature example. When the body temperature rises or stimulus, the receptors detects the change and sends signal to the control center. Okay, the control center, usually the hypothalamus, activates effectors like sweat glands to release sweat response, which cools the body and brings the temperature back to the set point. As now I discussed, it is regarding the body temperature. Okay, When the body temperature rises, the receptors or sensory cells, it receives the rise in the body temperature. It sends impulses to the brain hypothalamus. The hypothalamus activates and it sends impulses to the effector for the release of the sweat to the sweat glands. The sweat glands releases the sweat, by which the internal body temperature cools down and a stable body temperature is maintained. This is the this completes your negative feedback mechanism. Please mark these students, because this is the important question for 5 marks in your annual examination. Okay, so next, move on. Positive feedback mechanism. Positive feedback mechanism, it is just opposite to the negative feedback mechanism. While less common, positive feedback mechanism loop amplify the original stimulus, driving the system further away from the set point. Positive feedback mechanism is often associated with processes that need rapid and extreme responses. Okay, positive feedback mechanism is less common, means it is not widely used as much the negative feedback mechanism is used in the body. Okay, the positive feedback mechanism is often associated with processes that need a rapid and extreme response. Example, blood clotting is a positive feedback process. When a blood vessel is injured, platelets release chemicals that attracts more platelets to the site, leading to the formation of a blood clot. This continues until the clot seals the wound. For example, this is skin. Here you got the injury or a wound. Okay, the blood vessels lying beneath. The blood flows to this because of the injury. Okay, obviously the if there is an injury, then the blood is released. Okay, now in this blood, the when the blood vessel is injured, platelets release chemicals. Okay, this is the positive feedback mechanism. The release, okay, the blood flow has to be controlled, because if excessive blood is lost, then hemorrhage can be occur, anemia can be occurred. So to prevent this, the blood clotting is the process of blood clotting is fastened by the action of the positive feedback mechanism. How? It releases some chemicals that attract more platelets to the site. Okay? It brings more platelets and faster, so that the blood clot occurs. So this is the positive feedback mechanism. Okay, is it clear? So importance of homeostasis: cellular function, survival and adaptation, health maintenance, and optimal organ function. Homeostasis ensures that the internal environment provides optimal conditions for cellular activities. Cells rely on stable environment to function efficiently. Okay, and survival and adaptation: organisms that can maintain homeostasis are better equipped to survive in a changing environment. The ability to adapt and respond to external challenges is crucial for long-term survival. Health maintenance: many diseases and health issues arise from disruptions in homeostasis. Understanding and regulating homeostatic mechanisms are essential for preventing and treating various medical conditions. Optimal organ function: each organ and system in the body has specific homeostatic mechanisms that contribute to its optimal function. Just now discussed, for example, the kidneys regulate water and electrolyte imbalance, contributing to overall internal stability. So these are the basic functions. Um I think everyone has got these. Okay, so once go through these lines, and I will send you the notes in the description part. From there you can download the notes. So that's all, dear students, for today's class. We will meet